Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play Skies of Arcadia Revisited. I'm Nye, and even though Aka's shining face may inform you otherwise, we are still in a crisis situation, as you should know from the music. So the Chameleon and Valua have retreated from Ixa'taka after being soundly beaten at my hands after me being beaten by them, but let's not talk about that. We now have to stop Grendel, so we can't celebrate over our victory. Vice wants to know how we can stop them, and Drachma points out the canyon way over there, in that direction. The canyon that looks way smaller than Grendel himself. So we have to knock him in there and hope he can't just step out. So we have to wait for him to pass in front of it and hit him in the back, which does mean we have to survive in the first place, and that's going to be where things are going to be very hard against Grendel. But we do get the epic boss music. I love this track. Okay, so we got to get in close to do damage, but there's no telling what it will do. We've got to keep an eye on the damage of the ship and try to damage him little by little. By which they mean we're not going to damage him. Like, it's just not going to happen, guys. Don't hope that I'm going to pull something. I'm not. there's no doing this. This is a wait and see game, this battle. You don't win against Grendel. You kind of just hold out for a while. And that's going to be it. This is a hold-out thing. So, yeah. Now, the cool thing about this fight is that, and you'll notice this in a couple seconds when I actually hit Grendel for the first time, but Grendel's HP bar will actually dwindle. I don't know if it's actually possible to beat him, and here's his first attack, the Fist of Grendel, where he just backhands the ship and just sends us careening off into space. Does a fair amount of damage. But Grendel's probably not at full power because he's not being controlled correctly. He's kind of going nuts on his own. But if you notice, we do a small amount of damage. His HP bar will tick down just a little bit. And it's been suggested that it might be possible to beat him without, without actually following the idea with the whole knock him into the canyon thing. I don't believe that's actually true. I believe that I think me and a friend tried it once, and we got him down to, say, like, 80% health, and that was it. Like, it wouldn't go any lower than that. Like, there's a certain point where it ceases to go lower because you're not supposed to be able to beat him. So, but I'm not sure how true that is. So, Drachma wants to know where we should try attacking it. We can attack its head or we can attack its legs. In either case, we're taking the same amount of damage. I'm just going to stick with the head. So, that may be its weak point, so we're going to increase our altitude. It's not. You can make your assumption. It's not. I want to do an Incrum at the end of this turn. No. I want to do an Incrum. No. Now, I want to Incrum at the end of this turn. I want Aka to give me a sack raise now. We're going to heal, and then... you saw what I just did. We're going to do evasive action when he does the really damaging attack, and that'll be the end of it. So you've already seen both of Grendel's actual attacks. So all he does is the Fist of Grendel and the Boulder Throw. Those are his two attacks. You're never going to have to deal with anything else. That's all he does. It's implied that if he was at full power, he would be much stronger than this. But because all he's doing is wandering around, he has no idea what he's doing, he's working on, a lack of knowledge, basically. It's implied that he would be much stronger normally. That's also why he's only doing, he's doing less damage than even, the Chameleon did. I mean, even the experimental test cannon was doing a lot more damage than this. So, that's a thing. And so we're just gonna hang out, basically. That's about all we're doing. So we're holding. We're just gonna wait. There's really not much you can do. So we're just gonna keep Incrum up. We're gonna make sure we take as little damage as possible, and we're just going to survive until we're given the option to beat him. And we will. We'll be given that option. It's gonna happen, but it's not gonna happen yet. So we're just gonna hold. So what you will notice, we're now able to do the Harpoon Cannon. That's really the only thing that matters during these turns. We don't really care about the rest. It doesn't actually matter because there is no way, as far as I am aware, to flat out kill him. But you will be able to see as I use the harpoon cannon here, which I would recommend you do, because I believe you must do a certain amount of harpoon cannons to actually win the battle. See, notice how his HP ticked down a little bit? So I've done maybe 5% damage to him. This would take a very long time. I'd probably run out of mana to heal myself before I actually killed him. But you'll notice how he's standing right next to the, you know, area there. See, I just did 11,000 damage to him. His HP bar barely moved that time. So I'm fairly sure we can't beat him. As cool as it would be. That said, I'm willing to be proven wrong, and I wouldn't mind actually seeing it. It would be really cool. You just have to have a lot of patience. So anyways, the strategy we're going to use is to basically survive, you know, make sure we take as little damage as possible, defend where needed, heal where needed, and eventually we'll be given the option to continue attacking him, and just we'll knock him into the cannon, or the canyon with the cannon, and that will be the end of it. That's going to be all we have to do. This is more of a... This battle is more to show that, one, the Gigas are not all-powerful. They're beatable in kind of alternative ways. It's also there to show you, you know, sort of the folly of our previous attempt, which was to beat Recumen by attacking Beleza. This same thing could have happened in that case, and that would have been really terribly bad. Like, that would have been probably the worst thing that could have happened. I'm going to go all-attack on this, I think. But that would be the worst thing that could have... Well, not all attack, all focus. That's the worst thing that could have happened. Recumen could have just gone nuts, and then there would be lasers everywhere. We would have died immediately. So that could be just really bad. So instead, we're going to go ahead and wait, and we'll sort of see the new style of Grendel. Grendel looks really weird. It looks like someone was meant to, like, stand... Like, remember, he's multiple stories tall. But it almost looks like a smaller giant was meant to stand inside of him and be used as a suit or something. Because it looks like there's footrest at the top of his thighs. You know, lots of really weird stuff. Yep. The design of Grendel is just so... And what's with that secondary head on his back? I'd like to be informed of what the design decision was with that one, because that's just a weird thing, you know? I don't know. That said, he's got this shiny look to him, like this, you know, newly minted, very fleshy look to him. You know, they've got all, like, the muscle groups are very well identified, basically, to show, like, this is where this curves exactly. You know, musculature and in some cases skeletal a little bit, you know, his coccyx is down there, you know, at the bottom between his legs. You know, so there's this stuff. Okay, Drachma wants to know, we continue attacking if we want, or we can back off. We're going to keep attacking, because we're fine. They want to keep on damaging him. We're not going to... That was weird. We're not going to win. Like, again, do not, under any circumstances, believe that we're going to kill this Gigas. We're not. But what we will do is knock him into that cannon and win. That's what I want to reiterate that, because I know it looks like I'm actually trying to take this seriously. I'm not. Well, I mean, I'm not trying to kill him. I'm trying to do just... I don't know if the game, like, has a internal balance counter, where it, you know, like, keeps track of how many times you hit him with a big thing, and says, okay, this time you're knocking him off balance because you did enough balance countering. So there's only 8,000 damage. But you notice, we're just not... oh, I didn't increment that. But you notice we're not really impacting that HP bar any longer. It's not really moving. It went to a certain point, and now it's kind of stopped. Yeah. So we're going to be waiting. Okay, so we're still waiting. I actually haven't even triggered the second half of this fight, because there is more to this fight. So we're waiting on that. I think the second half of the fight will probably start next turn, given the amount of damage I've dealt to Grendel. We have to wait for the turn to end. I'm always thinking that the fight's over at about this point, because, you know, we've gone a couple of rounds. Every time you do the harpoon cannon, the cutscene shows them next to the gap. But it's weird. And then this happens. This is the cutscene I was talking about. Sophina comments that Grendel's acting strangely, and Aika gets a bad feeling about this. And then Drachma says, this may be our chance. It's not acting normally. If we attack it now, I'm able to knock it off balance, and if we can hit it hard enough, I might be able to knock it into that valley behind it, which should hold it for a while. So this is where we do this. And if I did this right, there's no promises that I did this right. Remember, you know, when I'm attacking like this, you'll notice that I'm not going to be able to defend myself. It's not going to happen. I'm not going to be able to defend myself when I use the Moonstone. Or, Harpoon Cannon, there we go. So, I've got to get it right. So we want to do enough damage, you know, so we can knock this thing, you know, head over heels and send it going. It's very interesting the way this thing acts like it's got a headache, you know? But you can see it's preparing an attack. It's, even though it's holding its head, even though it has the headache of a century or of millennia, it's still ready to beat the ever-loving crap out of us. So you gotta make sure to get your health up. Make sure you're ready. I also like that in these battles, the land looks so much bigger than it looks when we're actually going over land, you know, when we're actually flying in free roam mode. It's always very interesting. Okay, so it's gonna Fist of Grendel us. Now remember, I am not defending, so we gotta hope this only does so much damage. Yeah, okay, 2250. That's doable. But that was the yellow turn attack. That wasn't the red turn attack. Here comes the red turn attack. Fist of Grendel again. And where are we? Only 1920. That's very interesting. I expected more damage that time. Because that should have been his, because this is the harpoon cannon right here. Notice that in the screen, he's right in front of the canyon. He's actually here this time. And that is so cool that they do that. I love that they do that. So this time we knock him forward, and he gets, you know, pitched directly into this canyon. Cannot, he's got green smoke coming out of him, the magic green smoke, and the canyon looks much bigger now. And we knocked him into the valley. Congratulations. Any children downstream are dead. Now's our chance to grab the green moonstone crystal and send it back to where it came from, which would be where, exactly. He came from here. But we won. That was a lot easier than you expected, right? So we got a lot of experience. We also got a lot of gold. We got Grendel Wing, which is a weapon for Aka, and we also got the Captain's Stripe. So fantastic stuff. And now we get a cutscene. Should be a truly apologetic king. We saved his people and his land. Give me the green stone and never do this again. They were wrong. They should have never summoned the giant. With great power and great responsibility. When did... Okay, I'm actually kind of curious. When did Spider-Man 1 come out as compared to this movie? Because I'm kind of curious if... Okay, Spider-Man 1 came out in 2002. Skies of Arcadia actually... Okay, how about Skies of Arcadia Legends? It says that Skies of Arcadia came out in the year 2000. So a couple years before that actually happened. Which is interesting. Release date in 14th November in the 2000 in the USA. So that's kind of curious. Very, very interesting. The A's are far too dangerous. They realize that, and they're truly sorry. We have proven ourselves worthy. They entrust us with their sacred green stone, and we should use it to achieve peace. They have faith in us. Thank you, King. We'll do our best. And the Valuans have abandoned their encampments to the north, and now they have left. Perhaps I might be able to travel through the iron net that was stopping me from moving forward further. I never actually showed you guys that. And if we pass through there, we'll reach North Ocean, and that will take us directly back to Valua, where the yellow crystal should be hidden. Okay, good to know. We'll head back up to Valua, and apparently they're very upset with us, so getting the yellow crystal is not going to be easy, of course. And Asapa thinks it sounds dangerous, so perhaps the lovely ladies would perhaps want to stay here with him in Ixa'taka. Somehow I imagine that is not going to be a thing that's going to happen. But apparently it's an exotic paradise, it's an island, they've got foods, nectars, waterfalls, sunsets, creepy old men, and even Vice wants to get on this. What do you say? Who knows? Maybe you'll find some more ghosts. Don't even joke about that. Yeah, that's enough. That's enough making fun of Aka. Everybody has a good laugh at Aka's expense, and that we received the Green Moon Crystal Key item, and that's about the end of it. We are done with Ixa'taka. The Ixa'takan storyline has now completed, and so now we get to move on. Okay, so we have time to actually do that. Drop comments that the iron net to the north of this continent is probably down because the Valuans escaped to the north, so we can probably reach the North Ocean from there. We can head straight to Valua. So what we're going to do for the remainder of this episode is notice that we actually have Ixa'takans ships out now. What we're going to do for the remainder of this episode, we're very specifically going to go and try to get a couple of, and by a couple, I mean quite a lot of discoveries. And the first one's the hardest one. So here's the iron net. If you look right here, there's this big net. And that net was covering the space that I am in between me and that rock facing over there. So there was no way for me to go up here earlier. So the first thing we need to find is we're trying to look for a discovery right around where I am right now. This discovery is one of the hardest discoveries in the game to find because it's very hard to remember exactly where it is. I can't honestly remember exactly where it is myself. Oh, is it here or is it over? Oh, it's over. Is it over here? Yeah, I can't remember exactly where it is myself. It is somewhere in this general vicinity. Yeah. So we're going to catch one first while I'm thinking about it, and that's going to be this one right here, which is the Rock's Nest. Which, this one's one of the easier ones. Okay, so we're going to do that. And then, while I'm thinking about it, we're also going to go northeast to this island. And we're going to pick up Will-o'-the-Wisps, which are right here. So, pretty easy stuff. Oh, and I forgot to... I'll go back and read the Rock's Nest. But Willow's Wisps, I woke up in the middle of the night and saw something glowing out near some unpopulated islands. I thought I was just seeing things at first, but then the lights started moving around in these weird patterns. There's the Will-o'-the-Wisps right there. Now, we gotta find the... we're looking for the Mysterious Rings, which is an island that's going to be somewhere between these two islands. So for the Rock's Nest, the nest of the legendary bird, the Rock, a single rock egg is large enough to feed an entire town for a full lunar cycle. However, not many people are brave or stupid enough to try and steal an egg from the nest of this giant bird. Yeah. So that's a thing. So we are looking for the rings. Mysterious Rings is what we're looking for. As I said, there it is. We found it. Wow, that was a lot faster than I expected to find it. So Mysterious Rings... huge geometric shapes that mysteriously appear on the ground overnight. Reports have been very frequent lately. Old records speak of a similar phenomenon and mention 2 or 3 glowing balls of light that appear the night before the shapes are found. So, to let you know where this is a gigantic island standing where I am right here. So we are almost due south from the Will-o'-the-Wisps at the same height. So if you're looking for it and you're having trouble finding it, this is where it is. So, there's that. And, let's see, how much time do we have? Okay, so I got time. Okay, so the next thing we need to do, we're going to avoid that ship over there, because that ship would force a random, well, it's not a random encounter, but it's a forced fight with another ship. Okay, so the next thing we're going to try to find is a moving discovery, and there's a very large area that it will try to move in, so we're going to be hoping that I get as lucky as I did with the Mysterious Rings, that we just kind of find it, and it's going to be the Tricyclone is what I'm looking for. I'm not currently seeing it. There's a very large area that it moves around, so we're just kind of hoping that I catch it and I'm lucky. Okay, so we're trying to get lucky with the Tricyclone here. We're just going to be on the lookout for it, because it's something that, you know, it kind of flies on its own pattern. In the general vicinity of where I am, it has this pattern that goes up and around like this, triangular pattern. And so we're just going to kind of keep an eye out for it. It's going to be a black dot that's going to be approaching us at fairly high speeds. And we're just going to try to catch it as it moves in close. Okay, so this is how I'm normally going to do most of the moving discoveries. Is typically I'll go on to where the discovery should be, in the discovery's general flight path. And then I will just fly where I expect it to be, and I will keep an eye out for it. It generally works. Every so often you get unlucky, because there is a minimum draw distance in the game, and that makes things a little bit harder than usual. There is a minimum draw distance on the game, so there's a very distinct possibility that I will just not see it, and I'll have to pass by back and forth several times. Okay, so let's keep an eye out here. So again, I'm looking for something black. Looks like 3 tornadoes twirling around each other. And it should be basically, there it is. Not too hard. Must have missed it the first time. The Tricyclone, a dangerous triplet of cyclones that sailors have dreaded for centuries. It is said that if you encounter it, all you can do is pray. However, it's also said that in the center lies the treasure of 1,000 air pirates. Well, I'm praying. Nothing's happening. Okay, now that we've discovered that one, there's very little else for us to get, and it's all going to be in the northward direction, so we're going to head in that direction, try to avoid random battles if we can, but of course I do not have any control over that particular thing. Fish that you catch are graded. It doesn't really matter much, but the higher the grade, the more likely they are to give you a lot of money. So we're just going to head due north. Okay, so we're going to try to, again, stay as far away from random battles as we can. As we fly northwards, you'll notice that the sky begins to darken as we get closer to Valua. Of course, that is the yellow moon and its activity there. We're going to cruise over here to find ourselves the Giant Throne, an enormous rock formation that looks like a rocking chair. The claw marks on its surface have given rise to many stories. Some speak of a giant green creature that once perched here, or of a hairy beast that was lulled to sleep by the rocking motion. That is that throne over there. So you can see exactly how far away you can be and still find a discovery. At times I have to think of what of a hellish world Arcadia would have to be, knowing that at any time you could stop and smell the roses and the roses would outright attack you. So we just encountered, this is a storyline battle that you're required to do. As you fly through, you encounter the black pirate Gordo and his ship, the Bloodlust. This guy is actually the third bounty. He is a required fight, you must fight him. And as soon as you find him, he comments that the cold ocean starfish soup, Valuan chicken with onion sauce, and a mountain of flying fish, that's Gordo, there in the middle. It's wonderful. The ship they hit yesterday really had some great food on board, and they learned that a ship armed with a gigantic harpoon has been sighted off the port side. Gordo's immediately interested, and, comments that that's great, another ship full of goodies is there for the taking, and that he'll take on anyone if they have a good food on board. That's wonderful, I'm so glad to know. Gigantic fish right there. He's really hoping something goes good with fish, because it looks like he's going to pop that in his mouth immediately. And, of course, we realize he's coming. You know, they're black pirates, obviously. And Drachma understands exactly who it is. The gourmet pirate. He attacks other ships and steals their food. Rarely uses his cannons because he's afraid he'll burn the food in the other ships, and he'll do anything for a good meal. He's a strange black pirate, apparently. And he's getting really close. Obviously, he's about to attack. And looks like, yep, looks like they're boarding. They're challenging them to hand-to-hand combat, so it's going to be a quick time to kick butt. So definitely this is going to be a fairly easy combat. And it's quick, which is why I don't mind getting it done during this episode, because, you know, typically I wouldn't want to do this right now. So we're going to do the normal thing. Let's get ourselves glyphed up here. I'm actually going to have her do a glyph of speed, just so we get that done early, because she doesn't really need a glyph of might all that much during this fight. And this fight should go pretty quick, and then we get the last discoveries, and we'll be done for the day. So I have a couple more discoveries I have to do, and there's a cutscene after this we have to watch. So, everybody's going to get done real quick. I wish there was a way to speed up animations. That is a modern contrivance that I would really love to bring back to something like this. So now we're going to move nice and fast. Going to hopefully get our hits in before they do. And you can see Vice just holding off 3 of the chefs on his own. These are chefs, by the way. That is actually what they are called. They attack with frying pans. Lots of stuff like that. And they have very little health, as you can see. This is a required battle, and most bounties are not required. So this one is, you know, definitely an easy one for what it is. I don't know what Digest is supposed to be. I don't know if that is actually a, I don't know if that's a heal spell that he's using, and he just didn't need it, so it didn't show an effect. But, yeah, so that happened. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and get rid of the mad chefs here. That's my plan, and I'm sticking to it. So we're going to try to get rid of as much of the ads as possible. Gordo himself is easy. He really is. So it's just a matter of getting rid of these guys as quickly as possible. We're already in victory music, so that should give you an idea of how easy this actually is. This is here for storyline reasons, and pretty much very little more. So in comes an attack off a Drachma that puts Gordo himself at less than half health. He's going to do Loqua spray, so he's going to shoot out fire by putting Loqua into his mouth, and I don't know exactly how he's meant to pull this off. But it is an AoE attack and hits everybody. It's a lot of damage, but I mean, that's the only time he's going to get to attack. We will beat him on the next turn. Pretty much guaranteed. I can't really imagine that he's going to survive all of this. I think he's only probably has maybe 3,000 life in him. Not even that. And here comes the Cutlass Fury, and that'll do it. So down he goes. Very easy fight. It took us 3 rounds. That was easy. He's considered to be one of the easiest. So now we can go turn that in for a reward. And there we go. And of course we get a Cham, which is very important. We got one of those, as well as Spiked Sunfish and Sky Sardies. Good stuff. So quick cutscene to finish up. So they're hurting, of course, and they give up. We fought well. He knows our he hasn't ever seen us in the North Ocean before, but now he knows our name. And he says for the first time we've ever been to the North Ocean. For now, they're riding aboard Captain Drachma's ship, Little Jack. This name seems to catch Gordo's attention, so he turns and looks at Drachma and asks if he's ever in the North Ocean before. Drachma is kind of defensive in his answers, and Gordo knows exactly who he is. He's the sailor that is chasing the Arc Whale Rocknam. If he remembers correctly, it was to avenge his son. Drachma is immediately pissed about this and almost breaks the mast in half. And he doesn't know what stories he's been hearing, but suggests he leave them to himself. And unless he wants to be thrown overboard, he should get off his ship. Yeah, and they'll be running. It's time for them to leave. Honestly, he was probably lucky he didn't get gutted, honestly. Drachma's pissed at the 3 of them. He says they should get back to the bridge, so all 3 of them understand exactly which way the wind's blowing, quickly salute, and run off. So yeah, we get a little bit more information about, Run away, Fina, quick before he eats you! We get a little bit more information about Drachma from there. And of course, he's thinking about it. It's been a while, so he's thinking about this whole thing. So with that done, so that's that bounty out of the way. We got a few more small things we need to do, and most of them are going to be done. There's another ship that I don't want to encounter. Did I get... I'm missing 2 discoveries. Okay. I just got to remember exactly where these 2 are. I know where one of them is. Okay, there's this giant's hammer. A strange structure found in the northern regions of Ixa'taka. It was named Giant's Hammer for its unusual shape, but there are many local legends that tell of giants, so perhaps the name is not far from the truth. So that one is actually really big. And then we'll go ahead and bypass that Valuan flagship there and get a random encounter. Okay, as we continue to the northeast and make our way towards where Valua is, we want to keep an eye out, not over here, it's over here, for a single bit of land at the opening up here. So we got, this is actually Valua right here, and we're reaching the beginning of it. We're going to get a quick cutscene right here, and the game is going to, sort of inform us this is Valua. So it looks like we've reached Valuan airspace. This is where the yellow crystal is hidden. And we're going to get some information. It's sealed somewhere in these lands along with the yellow Gigas. Aka is saying that, considering how much trouble we've caused the Valuans already, we should be extra careful, right? And Drachma is being kind of silent. Aka is concerned, and Drachma is not going to say much. Until... Were you saying something? How often is he that polite? I mean, really. Everybody's concerned about him, but, he's the taciturn captain. We're not really going to hear much about him. So, we get to fly again. We're looking for exactly one more thing, which should be right over here, I believe. No? That's odd. I know it's right... it's in this area. Okay, that was scary. Almost lost there because of a bunch of, again, instant death spells. But we'll be good. Let me go ahead and heal everybody up real quick. We'll make our final search, because I know this thing is right here. I just gotta find the exact spot it's in. Okay, so let's look. It should be right up here. There it is. The Lighthouse Ruins. Originally an ancient ruin, it was converted into a lighthouse to guide Valuan ships returning from the north, but as the center of Valuan culture shifted to the south, the once great lighthouse faded from people's memories. Okay. That is the last of the discoveries we have to make. Where is it? There it is. It's a really tiny thing. But that's the last of the discoveries, guys. I will see you guys next time, and when I do, we'll be tying up some loose ends. I'll see you guys soon.